that the island was called Malta. And the natives showed us unusual kindness, for they kindled a fire and made us all welcome because of the rain that was falling and because of the cold. But when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, a viper came out because of the heat. A viper came out because of the heat, and fastened on his hand. So when the natives saw the creature hanging from his head, they said to one another, "No doubt this man is a murderer, whom though he has escaped one thing, though he has escaped the sea, yet justice does not allow to live." Oh, bless your name. But he shook off the creature. Whoa, let me grip onto this podium right quick. It said it does not allow to live, but he shook off. See, when you have the word "but" in a sentence, that means everything before that don't matter. That means the fasting don't matter. The bite don't matter. It said, but he shook off the creature into the fire. And then, see, the word "and" means in conjunction to. So he shook it off, and he suffered no harm. Yeah. But he shook off the creature. But he shook off depression. But he shook off addiction. But he shook off the creature into the fire and suffered no harm. However, they were expecting, they were expecting that he would swell up or suddenly fall down dead. Here go another but. But after that, they had looked for a long time and saw no harm come to him. They changed their minds and said that he was a god. In that region, there was an estate of the leading citizen of the island, whose name was Publius, who received us and entertained us courteously for 3 days. And it happened that the father of Publius lay sick of a fever and dysentery. And Paul went in to him and prayed, and he laid that same bit hand. Ooh. And he laid his hands on him and healed him. So when this was done, the rest of those on the island, everybody else around, who had diseases also came and were healed. They also honored us in many ways. Yeah. And when we departed, they provided such things as were necessary. You may be seated after you tell your neighbor one more time, shake it off. Shake it off. Yeah. Shake it off. See, to shake something off is to successfully deal with or recover from an illness or an injury. How many know that sin is an illness from an injury? Wow. So to shake something off is not to deal with it, but to successfully deal with it. And not only deal with it, recover from it. You tell your neighbor, shake it off. Successfully deal with or recover from an illness or an injury. Yeah. And see, I was going to ease into this text, but I think I'm going to just jump. On in. So we have it that Paul is shipwrecked. I remember back at the old building, one of the first sermons I heard First Lady preach was, "I'm coming in even if I'm coming on broken pieces." Oh, yeah. I got to get a copy of that. We can find that. I'm coming in on broken pieces. So you have the persecutors of Paul. And they're on their way on the ship, and Paul said, how many know people don't like to seek godly counsel? And they was on the way to take Paul and said, "Oh, we determined that you're going to get it. We determine everybody that we bring accusations against you in front of, saying, well, I don't see anything this man has done to be put to death. So they kept passing the buck, and they said, you know what, we're going to take him on down the sea. So they took him down, but when they got in the ship, Paul said, he said, it's not wise. I don't advise you to take sin. Y'all see what the wind and the waves are doing, so I don't advise you to go because it's going to be detrimental to all of us. But they didn't seek godly counsel, and they ignored. They let somebody sway them. And it says what happened was once the ship started sailing, they said that the wind got so strong that they couldn't steer, and they said that they let her drive. So what you in, when you don't seek godly counsel, what you in starts to drive you. He said, I suggest that you don't go forward. It's going to be detrimental to all of us. It's going to be detrimental to all of us. And they ignored the godly counsel because they were blindsided about wanting to persecute the promoter. So he said, it's detrimental. It's going to be detrimental to all of us. And then it says that the wind and the waves and the storm got so bad, it said that they let her drive. That means they took their hands off and let what they was in take full control. See, that's what happened when you don't take godly counsel. And then Paul said, you know, I told you that this would be detrimental to all of us. So it tore up the ship, the storm and the waves and the wind, it tore up the ship. And if you read the text in Acts 27, it says that the Lord allowed them to come in on broken pieces. Everybody hit the water, every man for himself, everybody soaked, everybody drenched to grab you a piece. Grab you a piece of the ship that we're going to come in, even if we got to come in on broken pieces. So then we stumble up on the text that we read this morning. So when they got there, it said that they got to an island. An island is secluded, a separated place. And it says that they get here, and the natives, I mean, people that's not from where I'm from, people that haven't heard what I hear, people that haven't got the revelation that I have, they call them natives because they from that land, but they're not from your land. Showed us unusual kindness. Isn't it funny that people outside are more generous than the ones in the house with you, the ones getting fed with you, the ones drinking and eating with you, getting word and revelation with you? It said that the natives showed them unusual kindness. And it said that they kindled a fire. I know you wet. I know you've been saved. I know you recovering. I think you need some fire now. Yeah. I know you're cold, and if I want to heat up something that's cold, let's make a fire. Let's put some fire. Yeah. Jeremiah says it's just like, yeah. He said, so I think what y'all need, looking at the state that you're in, I think we need a fire. But see, the thing was this. Only the people of God and God himself know if the fire is hot enough. That's it. Right. Paul was gathering sticks to kindle the fire because it was a fire, but it wasn't hot enough. The world can do it, but they don't know the spirit of excellence of a thing. Right. Y'all not with me, y'all not. It said that, so they made a fire. They had the right intentions, but they didn't have the right temperature. So Paul said, I know the temperature, and I know that this is not hot enough, so I'm going to get some sticks, because I'm going to help you help me. Right. Fire is the right idea. Right. But we got to raise the temperature. And so it said that Paul started to gather sticks to put on the fire. And it said when he was gathering sticks to put on the fire, it said, the text said, because of the heat. The viper came out because of the heat. How many know that, oh my God, there's a temperature hot enough to bring the snakes out? If the fire is burning you enough, It said that the viper came out, not because Paul was there, not because, but once it got to a certain temperature. Because of the heat, the viper came out. See, some of us can't recognize snakes around us because we ain't on fire yet. Woo. If you want to see who on your side, get on fire for the Lord. Yeah. Right. If you want to see who in your corner, if you want to see who a snake, get on fire for the Lord. If you want to know, it's a temperature that'll bring the snakes out. It'll expose every snake around you. Tell your neighbor, get hot. We're getting hot, and going into 2019, I'm getting hot. I need to know. See, when you get on fire, the snakes expose themselves. Because is the why. It said that because of the heat, the snake came out. You've been wondering who you can trust, ain't you? Right. Dealing with folks. You're wondering who you can trust, who really got your back, who really had your best interests at heart. Let me tell you how to find that out. Get hot. Get hot. As for me and my house, we hot. And it said that the snakes will come out. I remember Bishop said that God knows the right temperature for your fire. See, cold won't expose the snake. You trying to find out who snakes around you. Cold won't do it. Lukewarm won't do it. A little heat won't do it, but once you get hot, get hot. Because, see, the enemy expose themselves. And see, because there was a fire. He don't mind you getting it a little bit. That's right. But when you get to a certain temperature, the snakes are going to come out. And see, because the fire needed more wood. More wood is more work. So if you ain't identified the snakes yet, you might need a little more wood. You might need a little more work because of the heat, the fire. See, God knew the right temperature for the fire. And look, with the 3 Hebrew boys, it was hot enough to consume everything but them. It consumed them and purify you. It's a temperature hot enough to bring the snakes out, but you not get burned. God knows the right temperature for your fire. But see, this is what he did. Once it exposed itself, it's got to bite. Because look, the nature of a snake, they don't bite for no reason. Yeah. A snake don't bite. If it come out, it's got to bite something. And so what it did in this case, after it exposed itself, because of the heat, it said that he fastened to Paul's hand. And if you read the life of Paul, he had to lay hands on a lot of people. So the enemy tried to bite what God wanted to use. The enemy will always try to fasten to what God is trying to use in you. Ooh. See, because vipers and snakes, they ambush predators. And he didn't run out. He had been there all alone. In your face, in your area, in your circle, in your family, on your job. But when you get hot enough, he got to raise his head. Because he can't take the heat no more. So when he can't take the heat, he come out and try to fasten to what God is using in the midst of your fire. What is the enemy trying to fasten to in your life? Check. I got some bite marks, Bishop. Come on now. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. I got some stuff he tried to fasten to. And that's exactly what it is that God wanted to use. He will always try to fasten to. Yeah. See, I think it's imperative. It's mandatory that before we go into 2019, we got to take an inventory of what he's trying to fasten to. Because that's what God getting ready to use. Somebody got to get that. You got to take an inventory of bite marks. Because he's trying to fasten to what God want to use. Snakes don't bite for no reason. And see, what I like in this text is sometimes God will do it this way. It said that the natives saw it hanging from his hand. So this wasn't a private bite. It wasn't a private attack. And see, natives are not from where you from. It's different when you get bit in the house. It's different when you get bit by people that'll keep your secrets. It's different when you get bit around your circle. Yeah. See, it's different when you get bit in, but this had been made public. This bite was a public. What do you do when your issue become public knowledge? We know you've been bitten. What do you do when folks know? Because see, the people, oh my God, and see, some people don't think so, but we can see what's hanging off you. Oh my God. A discerner can see what's hanging off you. Ooh, we can see it just hanging. Your conversation, we can see it hanging. The way you carry yourself, we can see it hanging. Some of the choices you make in your life, we can see it hanging. Ooh. And see, we've been thinking, my God, we've been thinking that folks can't see what's hanging on it. But it said that the natives saw it. The world saw it. The city saw it. Your friends saw it. Your family saw it. Would you still keep, my God, would you still keep the stake fastened to you if what's spiritually on you could be naturally seen? Yeah. It said that they saw it. You know how people, some folks put on a show in front of folks. We saw you mess up. We saw you fall short. And now you got a public bite. But I just wonder, Bishop, my God, I wonder if people would keep them snakes fastened. Keep it hanging off of what God is trying to use. If what's spiritually on you could be naturally seen. If we could just see snakes just hanging all off. My God. Well, see, some people they've been wearing them like bracelets. Hanging. Alcohol snakes. Drug snakes. Infidelity snakes. Unforgiving snakes. Offended snakes. If it was naturally seen what was spiritually on you, would you shake it? Would you shake it? And see, most people don't shake off a bite when it's still private. And that's how it become public. Wow. My God, look, Jonah and the Lord had a conversation in private first. You're going to go to Nineveh. It's between me and you. But everybody know about the whale because he didn't shake off that disobedient snake before. And the longer you leave a snake on, the longer you leave it, the more venom. The longer you let the snake hang on you, the more venom you subject it to. So I did a little research. I did a little research on venom. On venom, Brother Hazel, I did a little research on venom because the longer that you hold it, the longer that you let the snake stay on, the more venom it injects. So all venom falls in 3 types of categories. It's hemotoxic, meaning it attacks the heart. Cytoxic attacks your strength, your muscles, your strength. And neurotoxic attacks the mind. Anytime, naturally or spiritually, you get bit, it's going to attack either the heart, the strength, or the mind. How long will you let it hang? So, Bishop, people that have a heart problem.
Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Venom.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. People that have a mind problem, confusion. Venom. People with weakness, no self-control. Venom. Tell your neighbor, shake it off. Oh, shit. Because it's going to attack those three places. So if you get bit and you're getting attacked in one of those areas, you may have been bit. But will you still shake it if we don't see it?
Wow.
Private bites become public knowledge. And see, look, this how, when I say discerners can see the snake, God can see the snake too. It says his eyes are in every place, but let me give you a visual. Genesis 3. After Eve was deceived, and Adam agreed with Eve, and they both ate what they shouldn't have eaten. God came down, he said, he addressed three. He addressed three people. He said, Adam, where art thou? Eve, what did you do? Snake, I got something for you because I see you. So that you know the Lord showed you in the beginning, he could see the snake. And you worry about people seeing the snake, but I worry about the Lord seeing the snake just hanging up. He could see it, but see, what do you do when God make your bite? Public knowledge. When your bite is the main event. Yeah. Everybody know about your bite. The city know about your bite. The world know about. But see, sometimes we got to be bitten in front of an audience because otherwise we won't shake it. Yeah. Sometimes it's a forcing mechanism. If you fall in front of people, you're going to get right back up, ain't you? To try to recover. Sometimes the audience is for your benefit, to compel you to shake it. Because some stuff you ain't shaking on your own. But when your bite become public knowledge, you got no choice but to shake it. But see, this is what I like, especially in the text and for y'all that like movies. What we have, God won't let you have an audience without a grand finale. Yeah. Do you know that the three Hebrew boys, they had an audience? But following that audience, they had an encounter and then they had a grand finale. Somebody say grand finale. And see, that a grand finale is an impressive ending. So you see me getting bit, but I want you to stick around and see this impressive ending that's coming on. I want you to see me come out of something that nobody ever made it out of. So my audience, stay to the end. I want my audience to stay to the end because it's a grand. See, what I love about the grand finale, Bishop, is at the end, like when I told the storm we had to play, they brought all the cast members out. Every snake that tried to bite me and Jesus. And we come out and they say, this was a biter. This was a biter. This was a biter. This was a fighter. Oh, my God. I want you to stay to the end if I got an audience because it's a grand finale coming because I know the author and the finisher. Yeah, we seen this movie. We know how this movie ends. Yeah, because I know the author, the illustrator. Yeah, the producer. And he already told me how this ends. Oh, Jesus, take your place. Yeah. Because the author, Jesus. Illustrator, Jesus. Main character, Jesus. Hero, Jesus. And see, the audience has been watching your movie. Your living epistle. The audience has been watching. Look, it said that after they watched for a long time. Ooh, that means they stuck around to the end. They said, oh, you made, we've seen movies like this before. And we've seen, you made it out of the sea. That may have been luck. But you're not going to make it past this bite. You made it. He brought you out of one thing that you was in. But you're not going to make it. Surely you won't make it out of this. See, it's a difference. It's a difference in people who are concerned and people that's waiting for venom to kick in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So it said these people weren't watching for your victory. They were watching for the venom to kick in. Ah, grand finale. Yeah. See, oh my God. You got to know the difference in that. In your circle. On your job, people that you think friends, some people call and check on you. Yeah. Yeah, the ones that everybody ain't calling to check on you for your victory. Right. Some people calling, looking at their watch and that venom ain't kicked in yet. Wow. I saw them get bit. I saw it happen. That venom ain't kicked in yet. You got to be careful. People motives if they calling to check on you. If they checking on your victory or your venom. Yeah. The onlookers were expecting the venom, not the victory. Because they know what a snake bite do. And look, for them to know this, somebody has to have been bitten before. And then didn't make it out. They didn't make it past their bite. So it said that they were sitting and they were waiting. And what they did, nobody even tried to aid him. Nobody was trying to keep his hand lifted, Bishop, when the hand got heavy. Everybody was standing waiting on the venom to kick in. It said that when the natives saw him get bit, instead of helping, they said, oh, he must be a murderer. It had to be something, no, I'm just on fire. It ain't nothing that I did. The enemy trying to stop me because he trying to get me because he don't have me. He's trying to attach to something that God's getting ready to use in a little while. So they looked at it and it said that they assumed that he was out of order. They assumed that it's something, this man done been shipwrecked and bitten. I know it's something that he did. But see, the fire bring that out too. The fire won't just bring out the snakes. It'll bring out the spectators too. Yeah, the fire bring out the snakes and the spectator. But see, let me put a twist on this. I want to tell you about how good God is, right? I want to tell you about how full of grace and mercy he is. This ain't always the case. Yeah. Bitten and the innocent ain't always the case. Yeah. It hadn't always been, in my life, it hasn't always been, everybody wasn't lying on you. Oh, yeah, y'all don't want to hear me now. Everybody wasn't slandering your name. Everybody wasn't telling your business that didn't know what you did. Had God ever pulled venom out of you when you caused a bite? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he done had to pull some venom out of Pastor Cooley. Yeah, self-inflicted. Yeah. I'm hanging with the snakes. Yeah, I'm in the area where the snakes are. I'm in the vicinity of snakes. I'm high-fiving and hugging and drinking and doing all kind of stuff with the snakes. My fault got bit, but he still pulled the venom out the. Oh, y'all don't hear. He still pulled the venom out the heart. The venom out the strength. The venom out my mind when I was guilty. I'm talking dead wrong. Caught red-handed. Yeah, caught red-handed. And Grace still pulled the venom out. Because everybody wasn't lying on you. Some of it wasn't opinion. Some of it was fact. Yeah. Everybody wasn't slandering. You were guilty, and God still. Yeah. Somebody say God still. Ooh. Thank you, God. He's still. Ooh. And they falling, and they saw him falling. And they saw him bitten. And they started to count it out. They said it must be it for him. I've had some situations in my life. I'm sure you have too, where people say, oh, you're not going to make it out of this. Yeah. We never seen anybody make it out of this. We never seen a marriage make it out of this. We never seen a mind, we never seen a family issue make it out of this. They'll never get back together. We never seen. Nobody's gone through this. and made it. So he on an island, he isolated and attacked. You're not just attacked, you attack while you separated. Some stuff you got to deal with on your own. Yeah. Some stuff, he was on an island, separated, but he still knew to shake it off. He was depressed and down, but he still shook it off. It was raining, he was wet and weary, but he still, shook it off. I don't care your posture. I don't care your conditions. Still shake it off. And you still got to shake it off. No matter if it was a self-inflicted bite or not, you still. I may be low, Bishop, but I'm still going. Yeah. I'm still going. I may be hurt, but I'm still going. And see, this is the thing. I won't stop shaking until it come off. Some stuff take more than one. If it's been sitting on you too long, it might take more than one. If you let the venom settle, it might take more than. And see, the thing, he got bit by a viper. A viper, oh my God. A viper, what it says is it has flexible fangs. Mm-hmm. And it waits till you get close enough. It waits till you lukewarm enough. It waits till you gray area enough. And it said, you don't see the fangs until you feel the bite. Yeah. It don't come at you with the fangs out. It may not look like a snake. It may not look like a snake when you first encounter it. But it said that since they flexible, he can conceal the fangs right up until bite time. Whew. I'm telling you, you better get hot before you get bit. Mm-hmm. You better get hot before you get bit because it masked the bite until it was time. See, it won't show you the fang. The enemy, a snake bite come at you dressed like everything you ever wanted. In Matthew 4, he tried to offer stuff to Jesus. Yeah, he tried to offer stuff to us. And you don't see the fangs until it's too late. Whew. And see, some of it has been on us so long, it's gonna take a few. The teeth are so dug in, it's gonna take a few. What is it? Oh my God, shit! That's me right there. Yeah. For this year out, how many more days we got? You got about a week left to shake it. Because in 2019, it's gonna be time to use what he tried to bite. Grand finale, yeah. And it say when they saw this, it said that they sat back and they watched. And it said that they expected him to swell up. Mm-hmm. They expected him to swell up. A swelling is a magnification of what's already there. They expected it to get bigger. They expected that the issue from your bite to get bigger. Either it say to swell up or for him to die. So he's going to magnify and everybody going to know it, it's going to spread or it's going to kill you. But you're not going to make it back from this bite. It's either he bit you because he wanted it to swell up. He wanted what God needed to use to swell up or to die. Have you ever seen, a withered hand is no good. Yeah. He expected it to swell up or to die. He wanted to fasten to whatever God trying to use, he wanted to swell up and die. You can't lay a withered hand on nobody. Yeah, it's dead. There's no life in it. So he expected the bite to either expand out of proportion. See, sin is a swelling of the venom that bitch. Ooh. That's what sin is. Because you know what? The venom can start up here. Then it get here and affect here. Yeah, remember that? Yeah. He expected it to swell up. See, a sin is a swelling. Because them thoughts, that venom in your mind lasts too long, become the actions that become the choices that you make. He expected it. A sin is just a swelling of the venom. You gotta, They expected the issue to get bigger. They expected for Paul to fall. They expected it to wither and to die. But it said that yeah. It said it ain't on me, no. I may have been bitten, but yeah. I'm going to get it off me before the venom can. Yeah. And they say after that, they watched for a long time and saw no harm and said they changed their mind. Yeah. So you can convert a spectator into a witness. Right. Yeah. When they stay for the bite and the grand finale, Brother Hazley, they have now transitioned from a spectator, to a witness. Now they are a witness. That's why you gotta hope that they stick around to the end. Just shake it off. And see, this is what gave me. I wonder what made them change their mind. Cause was it the bite, the snake, or the shake? After watching, something caused them to change your perspective. What made them change their mind? The snake? It must have been something wrong with that snake. Or some power in that shake. Yeah. One of the two made them, it said that after they watched for a long time, they changed their mind. Yeah, the snake or the shake. I want to put my money on the shake. Yeah, it ain't the snake. The snake had no power over the, yeah. Yeah. And see, look, when Jesus died on the cross, Bishop said that there was a shaking. Ooh. And the shaking that he did pulled the venom out of us. He shook it before the venom could settle. Yeah. So he said when he died, he said, I'm gonna shake it up. He said, I'm gonna shake it for you, and the shaking is so the venom couldn't settle in us. We can go places now because we're not infected. My mind is no longer venomized. My heart and my strength is no longer venomized because the shaking that Jesus did. Yeah. He wouldn't let the Lord love you too much to let the venom settle. Oh, so he came down and he said, this is shaking that only I can do. This is something that only I can shake off. And he said, so the venom couldn't settle. And see, when Paul shook, he didn't let the venom settle. That's why you got to shake it immediately. A lot of times in the Bible, we use words like straightway. We use words like immediately and suddenly and right then and right now. When Peter was locked up and the angel of the Lord, he said, get up quickly and strap on your sandals and your robe because I got to get you out of this. You got to shake it. Yeah, you got to shake it quickly. You got to shake it for it settle. Yeah. Cause see, once it's settled, it's a little more trouble getting it out. It's some suffering you got to do before you get the antidote. Shake it before it's settled. Oh, bless you. Yeah. Shake it before. And see, let me prove it to you. He fastened to Paul what? Fastened to his hands. Right after, it said that Paul shook it off and suffered no harms. It said that they stayed a little while. And he went to Publius' house. And it said that his father was in there. He was sick from fever and dysentery. And then Paul had to lay his... What if he hadn't shook before the... Ooh, what if he hadn't, before he... Some of us have, before we... Ooh, so you're getting venom on folks. If you don't, before you getting venom on folks. It's pastors before they... If people in the fivefold, before they... And if you don't shake it, before you land, you passing venom. Everybody's sick. Everybody in sin. whole circle, whole church, whole ministry, because you didn't. See, the enemy bit the hand right before God used it. And sometimes this period is a long period of time. I was being with stuff at a young age that it was a while before God used it, but I was still responsible for the shake before the. You putting. Look, let me prove it. Hurt people. Yeah. Hurt is residue of a bite. So if I ain't shook the hurt, you come to me for advice, I'm putting the, yeah. I'm putting it on you. Have you ever got bitter advice from a bitter person? Whew. Guess what they just did to you? Before they. Whew. So your venom is contagious. And you got to shake it so it won't get on other folks. Because, see, not only did he lay his hands on Publius' father-in-law, it said right after that, it said everybody on the island, everybody started coming in. Imagine if he had not. Everybody. Why do you think you see some members from some ministries? Because there's so much venom coming out the pulpit. They taking that venom back home. They taking that venom on their job. They taking that venom to their family. You gotta. Because you know why? Because folks depending on our hands. Yeah. You know when Jesus called Lazarus forth, he told the grave clothes to come off his hands. You got work to do. And you can't work with that on you. Yeah. He told it to loose. Loose him and let him go because I need his. Because I need her. Whew. In 2019, our hands are needed. Yeah. The movement, when we get outside these walls, our hands are needed. National Day of Prayer, our hands are needed. Open streets, our hands are needed. Oswald Festival, our hands are needed. Yeah. Are they clean? Are they clean? Is it any vitamin? Is it any venom in those bite marks? I'm not going into 2019 with a snake on me. I'm talking about not one on my hand, not one on my heart, not one on my mind. I'm going. So I can. Is anybody else going? Yeah, he got to get off of me. Because God want to use that. And I can't be, you responsible for your contamination. You go in a restaurant and see if you don't go in the restroom and see a sign and say, clean your hands before you come back to work. You know why? Because you can spread what's on your hands. Same thing work in ministry. Clean your hands before you go to work. Yeah. Get that venom off of you before you go to work. Because if not, you're going to contaminate people. Yeah. Everything you don't get off. Everything you don't get off, get on what you touch. We wonder why some stuff, everything we put our hands, stuff falling apart. That's what venom does. That's what venom does. And before the movement moves, in 2019, we got to make sure that every single bite, every single snake, in every single place, because it's a grand finale coming. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and venomous hand can't do this. This is surrender and victory. Yeah, yeah, it's surrender and victory. You know what that's saying? Lord, get this venom off my. That's your shake. Lord, forgive me. Get this venom off of my hand. Because I know you got to use these hands. That's what the shake is. Yeah. And God showed you that from the shake, he can pull the. Yeah. So I challenge everybody to shake it off before we go into 2019. So the movement can touch what we've been called to touch. Tell your neighbor, shake it off.